"Will your sister enjoy her marriage to the Duke?" I asked Richard, secretly horrified at the prospect of being sent to live so far from my home and those I loved, with a man I did not know. The Lady Margaret might never return to England again. "I don't suppose she has much say in the matter." Richard dismissed my concerns with what I considered cold-hearted indifference. Last year the bridegroom was to be Portuguese, then French. I think she will not mind who it is, as long as it happens. I too might be destined for a foreign husband in some distant country. It was a chilling thought, as was the knowledge that we were likely to be cast into political isolation. Any lingering hope in Isabel's breast for her marriage to Clarence was snuffed out, even when, in the end, in a sour spirit of compromise, because he had no choice, the Earl went to Coventry to make his peace with the King. The omens for the future were not good. At home, my outlook was even less cheerful, because it was the year I fell into love after hovering precariously, unknowingly, on its brink. An entirely adult emotion that exploded through my blood, creating a fire that would burn forever and never release me. It was all the fault of St. George and the dragon. In October of that year, Richard came of age. We celebrated, gifts presented to mark the occasion. Edward sent him a full suit of armour, swathed in cloth and soft leather against the rigours of travel. It was a Milanese confection, chased and gilded. A magnificent affair from the visored bassinet to the pointed solerays. It would encase him cap a pie. I imagined it would draw all eyes on a battlefield or in a tournament. My father gave him a destrier, a true war-horse of his own breeding at Sheriff Hutton, with some Arab blood in its proud head carriage and arched neck. Dark bay and fiery, it was of the weight to carry him into any battle. They would make a splendid pair. My undoing was at the evening banquet, where it was decided that we, the younger members of the household, should enact the chivalric tale of St. George and the Dragon, our own version of a Murmur's play. We'd seen it performed often enough, crude and popular in the repertoire of travelling players, so it took little preparation beyond a good memory for speeches and a delving into a box of costumes and other oddments from a decade of Twelfth Night productions. Costumes, armour, hobby horses and masks, much chipped wood, scuffed gilding and curled board, but all we needed. Richard, of course, made a courageous St. George, Francis Lovell in character as a wily dragon. Isabel would take the role of virgin maiden to be rescued and saved from a fate worse than death. But since I made a stand, refusing to be pushed into the background as the virgin serving woman, there were two of us, beautiful damsels, to be rescued. There was much posturing and declaiming. "Come to our aid, bold knight, or we shall surely perish." Isabel wrung her hands. I fell to my knees in dramatic grief. "Halt, Sir Dragon!" St. George stood foursquare before the terrifying beast. "Do you dare attack these sweet maidens?" The dragon in mask and scaled body with a cloth tail bellowed and vowed his intent to eat us all, clad in old gowns, once sumptuous but now musty and mildewed, that hung on our figures and trailed the floor, with diaphanous veils floating romantically from brow and shoulder. We maidens clutched our bosoms as symbols of our virtue and wailed at the sight of the dragon come to ravish us. The dragon roared. Virgin Isabel pleaded for her life. I remained on my knees, dumbstruck, because I found myself unable to drag my eyes from my rescuer. In that moment, Richard filled my whole horizon, his face pale with the dramatic tension of the moment, shoulders braced, all knightly courtesy and determination to overcome the brazen creature. Handsome, no. His face was too thinly austere for conventional comeliness, but striking, yes, with all the glamour of his gold armour. His voice raised in authoritative demand was suddenly, disconcertingly adult. His dark eyes blazed as he stared down the dragon. His dark hair was tousled from nervous fingers. I could not look away. Forced to take one deep breath, I found it difficult to take another. Standing, I retreated to Isabel's side, my lips parted, but I could think of none of the words I should speak, even when my sister's elbow